Welcome to our team call. Super excited to have you all here. This is like a kind of a mashup between Florida Fit's team call, DFG. We've got some DFG people on there too. So super excited to have you all here. If y'all have questions, y'all can wait till the end because I know that I had sent Alyssa like a whole list of questions that we all kind of had for Instagram. And she made a PowerPoint presentation and everything. So she is going to be going over a lot of those questions. But let me introduce y'all to her really quick because she's awesome. And if y'all are not familiar with her, you don't know her, you should totally follow her on Instagram. So Alyssa and I, like I said earlier, met at Tony Robbins, and it was kind of like a random meetup. And we instantly connected. She has a hedgehog named Brillo, and he's like the cutest thing ever. I got their Christmas card, and I was obsessed with it. But she's a Lifetime Diamond, Success Club 5 All-Star. She is under Anita Myron, right? Am I right about that? Yeah. Okay. She's under Anita Myron. She has been coaching for over a year and a half, so almost 2 years in May. She does work full-time, so I know a lot of my team on here and a lot of you who are in DFG work full-time too. So she does work full-time and coaches. So she's going to relate to a lot of y'all who work full-time and are doing this as a side hustle. But she did say that she's working full-time at Prudential. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Prudential.
Annuity sales full-time for now. So her goal with Beachbody is to go full-time as a coach, which, and no doubt in my mind, will actually like
this year. This is the year.
This year. So that's super exciting, and she is amazing, y'all. If y'all don't go follow her on Instagram, she's on her Instagram. She's got over 12. I think I saw last time it was like 12,000 followers, which is insane. And I believe she's done that all organically and just on her own, just watching a ton of YouTube trainings and kind of learning on her own. So I am going to let you take it from here. Is there a way for you to share your screen, or do I have to make you a host? Is that?
I think I could do it without being a host. We'll find out real quick.
Okay.
Let's see.
If y'all have questions too throughout, just comment in the little chat, and then at the end we can open it up for a Q&A.
Can you guys see that?
I can see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is going to jump around a little bit because everything is so interconnected. So that's why questions at the end, if you have them, write them down because it might get answered later. The topics are kind of like, they all intertwine with each other, you'll see. But the biggest thing is, like, forget what you think you know about Instagram. Forget what everybody else is doing because I'm going to share with you what's working for me, and I'm going to share with you the things that I learned. But every single person is going to have a different Instagram strategy because we are all reaching different people. We all have a different audience. So it's super important to remember that you are posting on Instagram, not for you, not for your team, not for your friends, not for your family. You're posting on Instagram for your future customers. So your future customer is going to be different than your teammates' future customers. So your strategies are going to be different because your customers are going to react differently to what you post. So keep that in mind. The first thing, basics, setting up your profile. Make sure it's a public profile. I can't tell you how many times when I send thank you messages to people for interacting on my posts, I can't see their profile. So I thank them and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a coach too. Well, I can't know that. Your profile is not public. Nobody can find you that way. Make sure it's public. The only time I would say it's not is like, I know I have a girl on my team who is a public school teacher, so she can't. So that's a little bit different, but unless you have something with your job restricting you, it should be public. It should be a business profile. Business profiles allow you to run ads if you so choose to in the future. They also allow you to see the analytics for your page. So like I can go in on this, this menu bar right here. I can click on that and it will show me that I'm reaching majority, like what percentage women I'm reaching, what their age range are, where they're located in the country. So it narrows down my target audience and it tells me who I'm reaching so I can adjust accordingly. It tells me who's interacting on my posts. It tells me all sorts of different stats. That only comes with a business account, and it doesn't cost anything to have a business account. It's just the way your profile is set up. And then you'll see right above my photos, these circles here, those are highlights. those you want to slowly put in. So those you can only upload things that have been on your Instagram story in the past. So if you have a good Instagram story, or you have a day where you have really good content, or you have a really good image up there, say it's like an invite to a challenge group or an invite to the coaching opportunity, or you're shouting out one of your personally sponsored coaches who like just hit a milestone, put it on your highlights, because people can go in and watch those anytime. And so you can kind of create this story exactly how you want it to be, of a progression even from like fitness to career opportunities to the community you have with your team, and kind of set, you can order them however you want, so that somebody can go to your page anytime and watch that story exactly how you want it to be and learn about you and what you have to offer that way. Another way to do that is you want a link in your bio. It just makes you seem more professional. I use the Linktree. I know Jesse uses this too, but it's super easy, and you can change it up to anything you really want. Let's see, I'll pull mine up. But like my Linktree right now is an application for my January challenge group, an application to join my team, a link to my free community that I run. So that way I'm filtering people in all the time, and they have the free community to like bring value to them. And then in addition to that, your photo shouldn't be a super busy photo. Have it clean. If you don't have professional photos, sit in front of a wall, have somebody take a good photo of you with good lighting. You can fake professional photos, especially when it's that small. Just make sure it's clean. It's just you. There's not other people in it. You want to look like a seasoned coach, even if you're not, when you're up there. And then the email button. I don't get a ton of emails through that, but I do actually get people email me through that. So it's always good to have just another way for people to contact you. You don't want people guessing, how do I get in touch with her? So set up your profile. And then the next thing, who is your audience? And this is super important on Instagram. I know there are 1,000,005 avatar trainings out there. If you have not done one and gotten really crystal clear on who your avatar is, do it tonight. Do it tonight, do it tomorrow, don't wait, because if you're not having the conversion from your social media to customers or coaches, you're trying to talk to too many people, you don't have one specific person you're talking to. So for example, this is my before and after picture. So for me, I was having so much trouble thinking, okay, who is that one girl that I want to talk to? I don't really know. So I took my before picture, and she's my avatar now, and I think about who was I before Beachbody, who was I before my health and fitness journey, who was I before the coaching opportunity, and I speak to myself, because that was easier for me than speaking to this made-up person. I know some people have very creative minds, and that's very helpful to them. My brain doesn't work that way. So this is what worked for me. So I think about before Beachbody, I hung out at the bars. I hated shopping. I was super, super shy and didn't feel comfortable doing much. And I just think about the things that I would do, because later when we get into location tagging and stuff, the reason people are attracting coaches and people who are already in challenge groups is because you're posting to somebody you already are. So I post to girl I was. So I will tag bars in my story, so that people in the bars are searching that location, are seeing me and being inspired by me and thinking, well, maybe she can do it too. And I'll go into that more a little bit later, but you need to get really clear on who you're speaking to, and your entire Instagram is going to be tailored to her and her alone. And then I know there's a million different things you can do on Instagram between the feed, the story, and Messenger. It all needs to be cohesive. You need to do it all. When you private message somebody, they need to go and look at your story and say, okay, I know what she's all about. I know what she's doing. I know what she has to offer. Same thing when they look at your feed. If you private message somebody and they go to your page and they're like, what is she asking me to do? Why? Who is she? You need to be crystal clear in your storefront, in your Instagram feed, and in your story, what it is, what you do, what your lifestyle is, what you represent, and what value you can bring to somebody else's lives. So they all have to match. And I'm going to go into each one of these. So for your Instagram story, you want to be consistent in sharing it every single day, no matter what. And this is my motto, is I get a gut feeling oh, I'm going to Instagram story this, and just do it. Don't second guess it. Don't think about it. don't filter it. I have had Instagram stories where like my phone is propped up and it falls over flat on its face and I'm putting it back up, and I don't cut that one out and redo it. I put it on because this is your real life. For somebody to buy from you, they need to trust you. Otherwise, and this is my favorite line ever, if they don't know you, you're just like a creepy man in a white van set, like wanting to give them candy, right? So they need to know who you are. They need to trust you. They need to fall in love with you. And I know that brings it back to basics, but it's so easy to get so caught up in what we're posting on social media that we don't do that. And that's what's going to set you apart, because people have these perfectly polished Instagram stories. Okay, I can go and see that anywhere, but I want to know who this person is. And then in your stories, you can put location and hashtags. So I always put my locations, you can make them really small because it looks funny when you have them all over your page. So I make mine really small and I put them like up in the top corner where my name is. I'll put it right underneath my name so you don't really see it, so it doesn't look like all junky. But I play around with different locations because some locations will get like 5 views and some will get 500 views. So I will play around with different locations, trial and error. I will track how many views each one I'm trying is getting. And when I find one that's getting a lot of views, I'll keep using it over and over and over until the views start going down. And then I'll start that process again and keep trial and error. And you can pick anywhere in the world, right? So the easiest way to do it is like when I'm out in a place, as soon as I leave the place, like if it was a Starbucks or a restaurant or whatever, as soon as I leave, I'll use that as the location, because then it'll tell you in that Starbucks, and then it will also auto default to a second location without you doing anything to the town that it's in. So then you are testing 2 things at once just so you can be more productive with it. Same with hashtags. You don't know until you try it. It's trial and error. Keep track of everything you're posting, because otherwise how are you going to learn? Make it funny, make them interesting, make them like not just you talking for 18 frames straight. Mix it up with some music or fun fonts on the screen. I know Jesse and I both use HypeType. It's a free app. It's super fun. You can speed up videos, slow them down, have like the cool text words like coming in and out of the frames. Just keeps people interested and makes people want to watch. Also in your stories, always ask for the message. It could be a message about anything, but the Instagram algorithm loves to see you getting messages from your story. It shows up in the algorithm as, wow, this is a really important account. I'm going to show it up more. I'm going to show it more in the stories. Like how you see all the circles at the top, this will bump yours to the front on people's pages if people are messaging you. So like even if you see your friends posting on their stories, just send them a message saying anything. It'll boost them, and then have them do the same for you. So it could be anything. I'll be like, oh, my hair is so frizzy today. Help, what do I do? Like message me what to do. It could be anything. And that just boosts you in the Instagram algorithm. Make people curious. Like I always hide, when I have Beachbody stuff, I always hide the name of it. And like this was a sample message that I got from my story. You can see it says reply to your story, because I was talking about my Recover shake, but I didn't say Beachbody. I didn't say Recover. I was just talking about like, oh my gosh, I was so sorry yesterday. I forgot to drink my BCAAs. I'm just like not going to forget to do it today. Help me remember. And then she messaged me. So you want to create that curiosity. And if you have not, if you were not at Summit last year and you have not watched Shalene Johnson's social media training from Summit, search it on YouTube. It's like a half hour. It won't take much of your time, but that is what I like, where I learned that, and it works. Okay, so on your feed, you want to do what feels good to you in terms of like filters, color schemes, blocking like videos all in one row, quotes all in one row. How you see people do that. Do whatever feels good to you, because remember, you are not doing this for you. You're not doing it for your friends. You're doing it for your avatar. So if it's something that's like really catches your eye and you look for profiles like that, then do it, because your avatar is going to be looking for it as well. If you're like me and I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't understand how people remember to do that. Like no, so that I don't do it. And that's fine, because my avatar is not going to care about that. So this goes back to like, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Focus on what it is that your avatar will be looking for, what it is that will attract them to your page, and go with that. And there's no right or wrong, and it's going to be different for every single person. Timing does matter when you post. I use this app called When to Post. You log in with your Instagram credentials, and I don't know if this is going to show. It literally shows me per day of the week. Like right now it says don't post. But it shows me per day of the week what my three, like today, my 3 best times to make a post were at 2:15, 4:15, and 7:45. So based on my account's history, that's when I'm going to have the most natural traffic on my page, and I'm going to be more likely to get more interaction on my page. So I always look at that, and it's not always realistic, but I try and make my posts around that time, and I always see engagement boosted when I do that. How many times a day should you post? It depends on how well thought out your posts are. This is a true quality over quantity, so at least once a day, like hands down, no matter what, once a day. And make it a good thought out quality post, like that tells a story, that evokes some kind of emotion, something. And if that's all you get up, fine. Don't throw something up just to throw it up. But if you can post, like I would say 2 to 3 more than that. So like 1 to 3 posts a day is good, because if you're not showing up in somebody's feed, people are going to be looking at other people and they're going to forget about you real quick. They do not wait for you to show up. They just see what's in front of them at that moment. But if you are posting consistently on your story, if you are showing up in private messenger every day, you can get away with 1 really solid, good quality post a day because you are consistent in both other areas. It evens out. So that's also why it's super important to be consistent on your story, because that takes 2 seconds to do a quick clip up there or to post a quick picture of your meal up there. And then that saves you time, because then you're not having to post as frequently on your feed. The 10-minute rule. Okay, this one is my favorite, and this is what I have so much success with in reaching out to new people too, because Instagram's a social platform, right? It's social media. So the algorithm loves to see you being social and interacting with other people. Now, hashtags is like the last slide, so I'm going to get to that. But when you know what hashtags you're going to use, you know what hashtags you're going to be using on your post, 10 minutes before you make your post, go look at all those hashtags. Search one hashtag at a time. Go through them and start liking and commenting and following those people. Like I'll search for a hashtag and I'll just search like Taco Tuesday or something, whatever, because I know that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to like all these pictures. I'm going to comment on all these pictures, and I'm going to follow a bunch of these accounts. Then 10 minutes goes by, I set a timer, and I make my post. And then 10 minutes after, same thing. Go and interact. Do, like I would say, 3 or 4 of your hashtags for 10 minutes. And just go and comment and like and follow, because that is going to make you show up on their notifications. That's going to drive more traffic to your page, because they're going to be like, who's this chick liking and commenting on my stuff? And you're going to have a fresh post up. So then they're going to interact on your post. And the Instagram algorithm, the first 10 minutes after you post are the most important. So anybody that comments, comment back right away if it's in the 10 minutes, first 10 minutes. And you want to drive people to your page in that first 10 minutes, because then the Instagram algorithm is like, oh, wow, this is a super important post. I'm going to show it up as much as possible. So that's the most important time. For content, again, for the quality, you want to touch a pain point, show how you overcame it, and use that to invite somebody, motivate somebody, or inspire somebody. Or have a post that creates really great value. Maybe you're sharing a recipe or a fitness tip, or, you know, like I focus on mental health on my page a lot. So maybe I'll share a mental health strategy or tip or a stress relief tip. Or make a post that evokes an emotion, make somebody laugh, make somebody cringe, make somebody like super happy or anything. Just make somebody feel something with your post. And then super important, have good lighting, because Instagram is a visual platform. So I usually stand, let me see. This picture here on the right, like the lighting was really bad in my house. So I just stood in front of a window, and that's all natural lighting with no filter. If it's nighttime, literally I'll stand in front of my refrigerator with the door open, like, and do my selfie, because it's good lighting. So good lighting goes a long, long way. And then just to show you, like, you need to get over taking pictures in public and just do it. Like, do it for the gram. This is a girl. She's not a Beachbody coach. She's just somebody who I follow for inspiration. She has 150,000 followers. She's just like a blogger. She's not affiliated with any one specific company. And she goes everywhere with her fiance, like makes him take all these pictures of her. And so like, you need to just get over your fear of what you look like in public and like, just do it for the gram. Just take the pictures. Use a good app to edit the lighting if you're not in a good place with lighting. But like, this is her feed. It looks so clean. It looks super professional. And all of these, like her fiance or husband or whatever, takes them on his iPhone, like while they're out in public and just does these pictures. So it's possible professional pictures are great. I have professional pictures too, but they're not necessary if you step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and are not afraid to do this. The other thing is on your actual posts on your feed, don't just post it and forget about it. You want to be tracking how it's doing. So if you have a really high performing post, I screenshot mine and I save them in a separate folder on my phone, but you want to remember what's doing well and what's not doing well at all. Because if you have a post that you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so good. It's going to get so much interaction. I'm going to get so many comments and people asking me about it. And it's going to be so great. And then like 6 people like it. Don't post anything like that again. Learn from it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people like have a low engagement post and post something just like it 3 days later because they liked it. Again, it doesn't matter what you like. It doesn't matter what you think is good. This is not for you. It's for your audience. So you have to learn about what they're responding well to and what they're liking and do more of that. Like for me, one thing I've been learning is every time I do a transformation post that is a face-to-face versus a body post, my engagement like 5 times is what it is when it's a body post, which is not for everybody. Everybody's different, but I only know that because I'm tracking and I'm seeing what's getting high engagement. Because for me personally, I thought my body ones would get more, that more people would like feel things about it, but it wasn't. It was the face-to-face ones where I talk about my emotional and my mental growth versus the weight loss. So just pay attention to what kind of traction your posts are getting and don't be afraid to reuse them. I have redone posts like so many times. If you have a high engaging post, wait a couple weeks or a couple months and just repost it again. You think that you're spamming people on their newsfeed, showing up all the time. The same people are not seeing your posts over and over. People are not seeing all of your posts as much as we think that they are. They're not. And you're getting new followers all the time. So don't be afraid to reuse content and save some time when you have a really well-performing post. Now, in private messenger, this is my personal strategy that's working for me right now. Again, your messages have to match your page. So you can't message somebody and start talking about a fitness group if you have no fitness posts. You can't message somebody and start talking about nutrition if you don't talk about nutrition at all on your page. So make sure that your content is matching up to what you're talking about in your messenger, and always connect first. So anytime somebody likes or comments on my post and anytime somebody watches my story, they get a thank you message from me. And it's super simple. And that's the one that I have here. Thanks so much for watching my story. Thanks so much for liking my post. Thanks so much for that comment. Are you interested in what I do with health and fitness, or are you just being awesome and super supportive? Lets them off the hook if they're not interested. Doesn't make them feel like they're being sold to you, like super genuine. Like, I just want to know. Because if you're interested, I'll help you. And if you're not, thank you so, so much, right? And always leave it on a good terms, because even if they're not interested, you're now like in their head, like, oh, that was super sweet of her to reach out. They're going to start watching your posts, whether they keep commenting and liking or not. They're there watching. And when they're ready, you're going to be the one that they reach out to because you've already reached out to them. And it wasn't a cold, hey, I'm running a challenge group. Do you have any goals you're working on? Are you interested? No, because that's what all the other MLMs are doing now. And when that used to work for our coaching business, now it doesn't. So we have to grow and evolve with that. If somebody has not interacted on my page first, but I'm like, oh my gosh, she would make such a good coach, or like, she is my avatar, like, I just want to like her to know who I am. This is the formula I follow, the 1, 2, 3. First is recognition and connection. So I say something about her. I'll like congratulate her or like compliment her, just something about her. Then I'll relate it to me, and then I'll add a question. Super simple. Don't go crazy with a paragraph, but just like, hey, Bailey, I love your new sneakers. I'm always looking for a new brand for my home workouts. Where did you get them? Just get the conversation flowing, short, simple. Pretend you're like having coffee with this girl. Don't word vomit. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this challenge group. Do you want to join? Like, no. Keep it simple, smooth. Like, that's not how you would talk to a friend. And then just go from there, and whatever kind of process you follow for your conversations, work it in after that. Okay, now growing to get all these people to message. Okay, this is my favorite part. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this takes time. It's very frustrating, it's very boring, it's very repetitive, and it only works if you're consistent. It doesn't work if you do it a couple of days a month. It doesn't work if you do it one day a week. I know because I tried that and I wasn't growing. So in 2017, I started off at like 2,500 followers, like 2,500 followers, and I grew it to 12,500. And this is how I did it. I would spend so much time scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, whatever. And I was like, this is a waste of my time. This is not helping my business. Like, I like to be nosy. How do I turn this into something that's going to make me money? Because I still want to be nosy. So I call it intentional scrolling. And I essentially like go down the rabbit hole finding people, and I will go through my hashtags and I will find like an account that I like with that hashtag, and I'll like and comment and follow them. And then I'll go to one of their posts that I like, and I'll see who liked and who commented and who's interacting with their posts. And so then I'll go to them, and like I'll keep going from each person's post and like finding more people. So I call it going down the rabbit hole, because you get sucked into that for like hours. So the time I used to spend scrolling, or like if I'm in the car and somebody else is driving, I'll do this. If I'm sitting in front of the TV, I'll do this. You know, make your scrolling productive. Go through people's stories, send them messages from their stories, send that connection message, relate it back to you and ask a question, you know, so you can still like be nosy and scroll, but make it productive time. And I can't tell you how many times I've sat there and I'm like, you know, when you're stalking like an ex-boyfriend or something and you get to like their new girlfriend's mom's, sister's, aunt's, daughter's, cousin's page, same concept. But you're just doing it with like hashtags that relate to you to find your perfect coaches and clients. So it's like kind of Instagram stalking, but it works. And you just like all these people, comment all these people, follow all these people. And then I track my new followers on an app called Followers Plus. I'm going to show it to you on the next slide with another strategy I have two strategies that I used to build. This is what